Fisherman, a short story. That girl up there in those wet black jeans is nice and wet, and that's how I like 'em, JJ thought as he smiled to himself with a spork in his mouth and a belly full of canned pork and beans. He let out a juicer fart and relished in the after smell, which lingered longer than usual due to the cocooning effect of his ever-present mud butt. JJ grabbed his junk and shouted past the tubers floating down the river. "That's real purty." And he meant it. Pretty graffiti, JJ thought to himself as he threw his fishing pole over his left shoulder and gripped his tackle box with his right hand. "Home is where the fart is," the entrance mat to his abode read as JJ unlatched the front door, carrying the latest crate of mail from the post office. The archaic smell of ancient dog piss was the first sense perception violated in JJ's manor, as he lovingly called it. All remaining sense perceptions were violated collectively rather than individually. For example, dogs filled with human excrement and dated in red marker comprised much of JJ's living room, and of course a mishmash of jars of open and closed mayo and clotted and green spoiled cottage cheese comprised the top layer of JJ's kitchen. A large artificial oriental rug runner laid atop a brown shag formerly bolted rug, which crunched with each heavy step in the insect sandwich it had become, led the way to JJ's office and its closed office door. JJ opened the door. A black fold-out table centered the room and served as a desk. A beaten brown folding chair he had poached from a Church of Christ dumpster sat behind it. Sand from the West Bank rested beneath the chair legs, and an almost irreducibly small pebble from the Wailing Wall of Jerusalem sat beneath a high-end microscope from Spencer's in the mall. A crucifix rested beside a Koran. The outgoing mail cardboard box he had gotten from Mr. Whisker's liquor store sat empty in the far corner. The incoming box overflowed. JJ dumped the latest crate atop yesterday's mail, then yesterday's mail, then last week's mail. Work. He removed all of his clothes. He grabbed vinegar from the windowsill and coated his hands and forearms. He turned his fishing shirt inside out and cleaned his forearms with the clean underside of the dirty shirt. Mud butt, not even an afterthought. JJ sat down. The first envelope. "Please pray for my family, Father. They say you have powers." Blah, blah, blah. Beach, 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 JJ thought. The tinnitus encompassed JJ's ears and the right side of his face twitched. "God bless them." Into the outgoing box. The next letter. Cancer. Into the outgoing box. The next letter. Divorce. Into the outgoing box. The next letter. Methamphetamine. Into the outgoing box. The next. "Please pray for my son." JJ frowned. The tinnitus encompassed his ears. The right side of his face twitched. He set the letter aside on the black fold-out table. The next. "God, pray for me and my family." Child's writing. "God bless them," JJ said. Into the outgoing box. The next. Darkness settled over the river. Dog piss continued aging in the living room. The jars continued becoming in the kitchen. The outgoing box neared full. JJ looked at the letter about the sun, then bowed his head with closed eyes and mumbled a few words, then slid the letter beneath the others in the outgoing box. One envelope remained. Fisherman. Black marker, no stamp, no return address. JJ frowned. Nobody called him Fisherman. Father, asshole, heretic, smelly bastard, lots of things. Not Fisherman. JJ opened the envelope. One sheet of paper, 5 words. "I know what you did." The tinnitus stopped. JJ read it again. I know what you did. The twitch stopped. That had never happened before. JJ looked at the crucifix, then the Quran, then the microscope, then the pebble, then the river. The river didn't appear overly concerned, neither did the pebble. JJ read the note again, slowly. I know what you did. The room remained silent. The river moved through the darkness beyond the office window. Father JJ stared at the unanswered letter. Outside, the ignition of an old black pickup truck came to life. Then came the familiar sound of a coonhound lapping water from a metal bowl. The end.